Hi guys. I believe I'm live. It's always a bit weird when you stream on your own because you're not completely sure whether everybody else can hear you or see you. So if you can give me a nod in the chat, let me know that audio is fine, visual is fine, and then we can get going because we've got to get this done in the next 30 minutes. But thank you for anyone that is here. So good. So thank you, Richard, saying yes live. So we'll be good to go. We'll give it a couple of minutes. Always good to give it a couple of minutes, which gives the latecomers an opportunity to join. Just as a quick introduction, what we're going to do today. We thought it's been a while actually, so we thought it'd be a good opportunity to do an interactive demonstration of the Foxify platform, and also namely the funded platform, which gives users the opportunity to trade on the platform and then qualify for additional funding as well. So we've got a live account and we can show you how all that works, how the rules work. Very good. So we'll crack on. So I'm just pausing because normally when we do sessions, we give sort of like a 5-minute timeline because our experience has shown us that most people are late. So I don't want to get too far into it, and then we have to start again. So why don't we do a mini quiz, because I want to burn sort of two or 3 minutes. So if you got a question you want to ask, a question you want to ask about Foxify, maybe it's your first time here. I know we've been having a lot of conversations with people through Twitter DMs, and there should be a few people that have joined us today for the first time. We've got 25 viewers, which is quite a lot for a demo, actually. Most people watch it afterwards. So to get 25 live viewers of a product demo is good going. So yeah, if you've got a question, feel free to post it, and we've got a couple of minutes we can burn, and I can answer any questions. Come on, guys, any question. It can be a fun question. We just need to burn a couple of minutes. Don't be shy. And by the way, Foxify colours on as well, taking this very seriously today. So yeah, 29 people joined now. So 29 people and we can't get a single question. Not an inquisitive bunch. When Ramadani again? Good question. Yeah, so I did my first 24-hour fast yesterday, actually, which is like a bit of a self-control exercise. I like exercise, but I do also love a snack. So yeah, so maybe next week, thinking about maybe doing another one next week when merch. Yeah, I've got all the merch. There's a lot of t-shirts actually. I think Frido's sitting on a load of t-shirts still, in fact. So good question, Richard. So when will Bitcoin moon? Well, you'll see in a second when we do the live demo. I'm a little bit bearish short term, actually. I'm a little bit bearish short term, and I'll explain why. It's not very scientific. I'm not a trader. I'm just Danny. But I have my inklings. Yeah. So Mouse. I think Mouse, you're probably fairly local to Frido as well. I think one of the issues with merch previously is international distribution. It ends up being super costly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Frido's sitting in quite a lot of t-shirts from previous events. Yeah, so Richard's saying still in the channel. It's still in the channel. I'll tell you what. Before we start, then I will share my my 45 people watching now, which is fantastic. So before we start the demo, because I'm not a trader, right? So I'm founder CEO of Foxify. We are a perpetuals dex, but that's completely different from any other perpetuals dex, and that's because you can trade on the platform and actually qualify for additional funds. And then we're building on that at the moment. Actually, we're copy trading as well, to create really really symbiotic ecosystem. Hi Funk Master. So we're a perpetuals dex at the core, but we're the currently the only on-chain, so completely Web3 prop trading application where you can trade on the platform and you get to qualify for additional funding if you can prove that you can perform over time. And we'll be looking to build out that ecosystem actually and include copy trading. So for every person that's very good at trading or backs themselves, there's a lot more people like me that aren't traders. But we would love to tap into other people's skill. There's always risk in trading. We should be very aware of that. But I use a simple trick for me. When I look at crypto Twitter and everybody saying the same thing, I expect the opposite to happen. For me, I don't think sorry to let the secret out. There's very few people in crypto Twitter that post anything for free, in my opinion, and so I always think if everybody's saying we're just about to boom, nobody gives that sort of information away for nothing. So I'm very skeptical after being in the industry for a few years. So when everyone believes the end is nigh, the world is over, I always think, well, we're going to start moving up, and we're usually right. And when everyone is like, well, that's it, we're definitely moving up, there's no doubt about it whatsoever now, then for me, that's a bit of a bearish signal. Cool. All right. Enough talk. Thank you, David. Let's go. So we do 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes, guys. And the people that are a bit late will thank me for the waffle. So I'm just going to share my screen now. So bear with me 2 seconds. Just double check that we're sharing the right one. Absolutely right. So now I cannot see you. So I'm hoping that you can see it. There's nobody here from an audio perspective that can give me the thumbs up and tell me that we're good. But we will kick off with a demonstration. So first off, let's start off with the platform. So Foxify is a perpetuals DEX. What does that mean? So it's a decentralized trading platform, which means you can trade on the platform directly from your wallet. So that is different from a centralized exchange. Centralized exchange, you put your funds onto the exchange, right? So you give up custody of your funds effectively, and then you have to trust the organization. Something like FTX happens, then funds that are not even in a trade, there's obviously an inherent risk there. If you if you're not used to decentralized trading platforms, the way they work is that you're trading directly from your wallet, and it's all smart contract based, so it's complete self custody. So you open the trade, you close the trade. You get 2 types of perpetuals dexes. You get order books, so where there's a maker and then there's a taker at a particular price, and then you get a peer-to-pool model, and we're peer-to-pool. So what you're doing is you're trading on the platform against a liquidity pool, right? So you pay fees for opening a trade and closing a trade, and if you're successful, then the pool is losing funds, liquidity. And if you're unsuccessful, because there is risk in trading, we always recommend, it's definitely something that requires patience, application, and education. And if you're unsuccessful, then the pool is accumulating. So that's how the system works. You're trading on a smart contract. The price feed is independent. Again, a big difference between centralized platforms and decentralized, because our price feed comes from Pith. We also then have a secondary consensus. So even if the Pith price went wrong, we then also work with Chainlink. So we have the 2 largest Oracle providers, one of them providing the initial feed, the second one then providing a consensus, and actually a trade won't execute if there's a significant difference between those 2 prices. So that means that we have a completely impartial pricing mechanism on the platform. So we are independent from the settlement. You choose when to close the trade, and the price is set independently from us. So the platform, you can see here, so we use TradingView as the main chart on the platform, and we have a number of assets. So over here on the left hand side, so we have a basket of assets which gives a range. Obviously, our USP really is funded. We're looking to extend this basket, but at the moment, it gives a good range of everybody wants Bitcoin. Then you've got blue chips with ETH, and then you've got Arbitrum, BNB. So you've got a couple of vaults there, and then you've also got exposure to meme coins by having Doge, and we are looking to add more as we go on. Okay. And ultimately, whilst it can increase your gains, it also can increase your losses, right? It can eat into your collateral very quickly. So, for instance, if you're trading with 10x leverage, $100 at 10x leverage, you have $1,000 position, and if the price moved 10%, you'd be liquidated. The liquidation model is slightly different than that. There's a formula in there, so you do get a bit back if you get liquidated. However, if you use more leverage, your liquidation point is a lot tighter. Ultimately, you can make a lot more with leverage, but also there is a lot more risk, so it should be used very carefully. Okay, so to trade on the platform, you need USDC. We're on Arbitrum, and you also need ETH for gas. Okay, so you need ETH on Arbitrum, and that's the gas every time you settle a transaction or open a transaction, and you also need USDC for trading. Okay, you do have take profit and stop loss that are inherent within the platform as well. So you can set orders to trigger when you open a position, or you can set them as well after you've opened the position if you like. So for instance, a very smart thing that a lot of people do, rather than just closing a winning trade, what they'll do is they'll set a stop loss at the position just above or below where they are currently. So if it continues to go in their favor, they can make more. But if it pulls back, then they're no worse off, and they get to basically lock in their win. So smart ways of using take profit and stop loss. The platform also has quite a lot of customization. So you can light and dark mode at a basic level, but you can also set different themes. You can affect the layout and influence what your trading experience looks like. Okay. So you'll see if we move down a bit, you'll see that I've got an open position. So we're jumping ahead a bit. I opened a position just before starting this. As you can see, I went short. I meant to go short 15x, but because I changed something on the platform just before I placed the trade, I didn't realize the leverage had changed. So I set it quite high leverage, actually quite a risky move. At the moment, it's obviously playing out, right? My expectation in terms of where the market is, I thought maybe there could be a bit of a peak. Maybe it would go up a little bit more and then drop back. And that's why I wanted to go relatively low leverage to give me sort of like room if the market did shoot against me. But ultimately, I do like my belief, and I could be completely wrong, is that the market could see a bit of pullback. You can see there's quite a bit of support there actually on the price, so it could easily pump back up and go long from where it is, and it does look like there's quite a bit of support there, but we'll see. Okay, so you can view any open positions, any open orders that you've placed, and you can also look at your trade history on the platform as well. Okay. The Fox token I should mention very quickly. So that's our native token. It's a utility token, and you're able to stake that and earn a share of trading fees. Okay, and that's auto compounded within the pool. You can see the APY that's currently displayed there. You've got two pools. You've got EB Fox, which you can read about in the white paper, and then you've got the standard staking pool as well. Okay. Now the really exciting thing is funded. So trading on the platform, there's hundreds of perpetuals dexes out there, and not all of them look as good and are as user friendly as ours. But it's not completely unique, right? This model. Now what is super unique is funded. So what funded is ultimately some smart contracts and a system that's integrated into the perpetuals DEX. And what it does is it allows you to fund a challenge, and in that initial challenge, it's your job to prove that you can hit some targets over 7 days. Now you use your own funds to qualify, but those funds remain yours. Okay. At the end of that initial 7-day challenge, if you've turned your $400, which is the minimum, into 600. You can withdraw all 600 and you still get funded, okay? Or you could roll it into your trading balance if you so wish, right? So the way the process works is that you fund your account with an initial $400, and then you have a number of targets that you need to hit. Some of them sort of KPIs, key performance indicators, other targets like activities, as well as growing your account. So I'll run through those now. You can see here, so this challenge has only just started recently, so we've got nearly 7 days left of this challenge. So we've only got one position open at the moment, so everything's unrealized at the moment. So I'm 1 day into my challenge. The challenge lasts for 7 days. You do have a number of trades that you have to hit on each level of the challenge as well. So on qualification, I do need to trade 8 times. That's open and close. And I do need to be active in 5 24-hour periods. So the day doesn't count from a particular time. It just knows that I started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it will count 24-hour periods from the time that I start my challenge. So I just need to be active, so I can take 2 full 24-hour periods off, and I can take them off in together. I can take them off separately, but as long as I'm active for 5 days, then I meet the KPIs. You also have a win rate, which is set quite low, actually. You only need to achieve a win rate of 35%. But the most important target is to grow your account. You need to grow your initial 400, which is 300 at the moment because I'm in a trade. If you remember, I started with 400 and I opened a trade for 100. And I need to grow that by 15%. If I do that, then I qualify for funding and I get the first raft of funding into my account. Okay. So let me jump into the rules, which I think gives a good sort of summary and overview of what the process looks like. So I start off a qualification and a reminder. I provide my own funds for the qualification, but they remain mine. Okay, so I'm trading with them, and apart from sort of the targets and the objectives that I need to achieve, the funds remain mine at the end of the challenge. Okay, so it's no different really, because our fees are exactly the same as say GMX, less than people like GNS, maybe the same as Dupe, I think, some of the biggest platforms that are out there. But the difference being that if you perform, then you get access to more capital to trade with. So the outcome really, the downside is no different to trading on one of those other platforms. If I lose, which can happen, it's trading. If I turn my 400 into $200 over the week, then I have lost 200. I could withdraw the remaining 200, and it would be up to me whether I want to start another challenge. Okay. If I turn my 400 into 460 and I hit the targets, then I have the option to withdraw the funds that are remaining at the end of it, and then I receive $500. And the next stage is the bronze level, as we call it. Now, when you get up to bronze level, and apologies, I just noticed a slight error here, is also a 7-day challenge, actually. So we just need to update that because we've replicated the wrong one here. So good job we have this session, because it's good for identifying some bugs on the UI. So when you get into bronze, you've now got 7 days, but it's $500 that's provided by us, and you have a profit share of that. So because the funds are provided by us, they sit within your trader account that you created when you started qualification. And you can't just withdraw those and run away, right? That would obviously be very difficult for us as a business. But you can trade with those. And your goal is to either be retained by, if you grow that by 15%, then you'll be retained at that level and you get to repeat it, and you get to keep 80% of the profits that you generate. If you achieve 25% growth and hit the targets, then you're able to, again, withdraw 80% of the profits you generate, but you'll get promoted up to the silver level. Now, I'm happy to say that these are right. So you can see here at silver level, then it really jumps up very quickly. So I've proven that I can trade with my own money over a short period of time. I've then proven that it wasn't just a fluke, and I can do the same with some funding provided by the platform. And now I reach the silver level, and it quickly jumps up. I now got $2,000, and I can trade that with 50 times leverage, right? So I can open a position with $500 times 50. So I can open a position of $25,000. Yeah. So the sizes start to become pretty significant after that qualification and the bronze phase, and then it jumps up again. Gold. We've got several traders at gold at the moment. Actually, we've got one that's just moving through to platinum, and two that look like they're going to make it through to platinum. And when you get up to platinum, you get $10,000 actually. And again, minimum trade size $2,500, up to 50 times leverage. So you can start trading some pretty significant sizes at that point. And again, the same applies. So you get those funds into your account. If you lose them, you lose them, right? You've lost the platform's money. But if you're successful, so you turn 5,000 into 7,000, and you get promoted, you will get 80% of the 2,000 profit that you've generated. Okay, so it's a great way of starting with a small amount of collateral of your own, proving that you can trade, and if you continue to perform, you get bigger and bigger sizes. Now, what happens if you don't perform is that you will lose funding, and you would have to start the qualification again if you would like to qualify for funding once more. You do have the ability to be retained, though. So if you perform at plus 25%, then you move up into the next level. But if you're over 15%, then you do hit the key performance indicators, then you will be maintained at that current level. Okay. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is the consistency rule also. So we'll talk about copy training in a second, but it's really important actually that we're finding traders that have skill, right? Everyone has the ability to be lucky in trading. Absolutely everybody has. the ability to be unlucky as well. It's not, trading isn't easy, and performing over time isn't easy for sure. But at the same time, it's really important for us that we're finding people that are performing based on skill. So the way the consistency rule works, it's a rule which says that your best win cannot be more than 50% of your overall profit. So I'll give you an example. I take $400 in qualification, and I turn my $400 into $500, but I made 75 of those dollars in one trade, right? I start off with one trade, I'm lucky. And then I have one more trade and I make $25. Now that doesn't demonstrate somebody can perform over time, right? So the reason the consistency rule sits there is so that it rewards consistent trading performance, and somebody that is able to grow an account in increments, proving that they can perform over time. What we don't want to see, and certainly what is not great for us to be rewarding, is lucky behavior. So somebody opening a big trade, DCAing into it, maxing out the profit on that trade, and then ultimately getting through to the funding round. But all of us have the ability to be lucky on one trade. It's much harder to be successful on a number of trades over a number of days and a number of weeks. So the consistency rule is applied. So a reminder on how that works. So if you turn your 400 into 460, which is enough for you to qualify, you cannot have more than $30. So you're in $60 profit. You couldn't have more than $30 coming from one single trade. Yeah. So the idea is that you're building growth by performing. Now, if you've got 8 trades in a challenge, let's be realistic. You could lose 4 of them and still be good on the win rate, and then you could win 4 of them, and because your overall profit is split nicely across a number of trades, then you'll be perfectly fine on the consistency rule. Okay. Now, I'll talk about copy trading, mainly because we're running a pilot within the community at the moment. So we have the Fox Den. The Fox Den, you can have access to the Fox Den in our Discord. There's monthly giveaways. You get access to alpha. You get a monthly private AMA that we'll be doing in 8 minutes time, actually. And also you get early access to initiatives, right? So for instance, people had early access to funded that were in the Fox Den. So if you'd like to join that part of our community, you just need to own 2,000 EB Fox. I think at the moment it's around $300 worth of Fox tokens, and just verify yourself in the Discord, then you can join that community. So the reason I'm sharing that also is because we're currently running a copy trading pilot. And ultimately, the reason we're doing that is because, a really important building block of our platform is we have a trading platform. Great. Number 2, we have this funded platform, and that helps us to identify really good traders and then reward those traders. But there's also, a much broader sort of market out there where people maybe haven't got confidence to trade themselves, but would love to be able to benefit from the skill of others, right? Obviously, when through the funded platform, what it helps us to do is to prove that somebody isn't just lucky, that they're able to perform very well over time. Let's be honest, to pass qualification, bronze, silver, and be delivering plus 25% growth on your account, although you get more time to do it at each stage, it's still not an easy thing to do. Yeah, it's hard to be that lucky over that longer period of time. It definitely rewards skill. And so with our copy trading, which we've already started a pilot, and it's an exclusive pilot, we're developing a UI and the smart contracts and all of the concepts in the background at the moment. But we already started a pilot just over a week ago. So we've been copy trading one master trader that's a proven trader on the platform, has proven, beyond any doubt that they're a very good trader. They manage risk and they're able to perform over time. And we actually have $10,000 sort of in a pot that's copy trading that individual. In the first week, that individual has delivered huge growth. They delivered sort of, if I remember rightly, I think it's 23% that they delivered in the first week. So from an APY perspective, you're talking big numbers. You're talking like 1,000% APY. Now, I think losses are part of trading, so you have to be super clear about that. But it's a really important part of what we're doing is you have this one side, this funded platform, which rewards quality traders. and people that can perform over time. And then we're able to then provide an ecosystem where others then are able to back really high performing traders and also share in the rewards as well. So hopefully that's been a good introduction. What I'm going to do is kind of stop sharing my screen, because then I can see you guys again. And this gives us an opportunity in the last 5 minutes for me to answer any questions that you might have had. A lot of people here now, nearly 100 people viewing the stream now, which is amazing. So yeah, like Tycho said, hit like, follow, say hi in our Discord chat. You know, the community is super vibrant and engaging. But now is the time if you've got any questions, guys. Very quiet. 100 people and no questions. Tell you what I'm going to do in the last couple of minutes is let's have a look how this trade was doing. Yeah, it's definitely the market's come back a little bit, so that trade's not looking so sharp now, but we're in a small profit. I think we got a dollar. If we close right now, we'd be $1 up on that one trade. So we could, maybe a couple of dollars if we close it now as it's pulling back slightly. Albeit we were up nicely. We had a nice win of about $10, $11 previously. It's only a $100 trade. But yeah, so our trade's looking good at the moment. It's just jumped up actually to about $3.50 up. So I'm going to give it 30 more seconds. So if you'd like to ask a question, now is the time. And if we don't get any questions, then we will close off. Are you considering a longer time frame option? So 7 days is a bit short for swing trading. Very interesting. So I would say, look, you get numerous types of trading, right? I think I would say swing trading is not the easiest thing to do on a platform like Foxify. I'd say that most people are treating it more like day trading. I'd say that's the behavior that you see is more prevalent on the platform. I think because it's all crypto pairs, you know, the way crypto moves is very volatile. So I think there's many more opportunities to sort of like trade on relatively short time frames than you see other assets. But we're seeing people perform very well. What we also see is that if you have longer time periods, that, you know, quite often in crypto, people do struggle with levels of concentration. Happy to take any feedback. And Richard, you know, give it a go and see how you get on, and feel free to let us know what you think and how you found it. It's worth adding that we did do a huge amount of research. I think it was 361 days worth of research we did. We also did live simulations. We had lots and lots of traders. We had about 40 traders that took part in live simulations before we went on to beta. In private beta, I think we had about 80 people sign up for private beta as well. So we had a long period actually of many months where we took a lot of feedback on board. But you know, always learning as well, right? I think when you get into a live situation, there's every day there's going to be a lesson. So next question, have we further discussed extending the time to hours? Okay, so it's basically the same question. Are we waiting to have more liquidity to do so before we extend the time period? To be fair, our liquidity is not being exhausted at the moment. So I'd say it's being underutilized right now. So yeah, there's no issue there. So when will we see more assets is a good question. I don't have an answer to that. To be honest, we've got, you know, quite a few plates spinning at the moment, but it's a good question. But I don't have the answer. Soon, a very crypto answer. Cool. Okay, guys. So we have 30 seconds left. 104 people tuned in. So thank you very much for all the people that came along. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration today. I hope you guys have been lucky for me because I'm definitely not a trader. And there we go. The market dropped down again and it's picked up once more. So so fingers crossed for my trade. Hopefully you guys have been good luck. And let us know how you get on with your funded challenges. Cheers, guys.